It's me, Bertina Carter, and this is day 8 of the Environmental Justice modules with the Green Jobs Training Institute. Today, we're talking about climate change. You've probably heard the phrase before, but what does it mean? And how is it related to environmental justice? I just heard on the news that we're living in the hottest year ever. That's called climate change. The primary harmful gas that humans release into the air is carbon dioxide, or you may know it as CO2, which is also a greenhouse gas. These gases trap the sun's heat in the atmosphere and don't let it back out, just like a greenhouse. That makes the earth hotter, which leads to more natural disasters like wildfires, severe and frequent storms, drought, and rising oceans. Did you know New York is sinking? Polar caps are melting, and island populations are in big trouble. Ecosystems are also at risk, and species have been dying out as a result of climate change. So, this is an issue for everybody in the world, but it's also an environmental justice issue. When it floods more, whose houses are the ones that end up in the floodplains? Low-income folks. Areas that lack reliable infrastructure cannot rely on essential services when it comes to disaster response, so climate-related threats are more dangerous. Historically, environmental racism like redlining makes it even worse for communities of color in the face of climate change. This hit home for me when Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, when the neighborhoods of black and brown folks stayed devastated for longer and aid was very slow to come. Here in Houston, we have a high industrial greenhouse emission problem. In the Baytown and Pasadena areas are full of chemical plants. You can see smokestacks all along the skyline. Carbon dioxide is one of the gases coming out of those smokestacks. And like many of the environmental justice issues we've learned about in this module, large companies are responsible for a big portion of this. Over half of global industrial emissions have been emitted from just 25 companies, including ExxonMobil, Shell, BP, and Chevron. And if we broaden it out to 100 companies, guess what the percentage of global emissions is? 71%. It's so crucial to hold these companies accountable for their pollution and how they're affecting the world. So what are governments and companies doing to hold companies accountable and protect people and the planet? As the world leaders recognized the dangers to public health and the environment, they got together to find solutions like limiting emissions and transitioning to renewable energy instead of coal, such as wind energy, solar power, hydroelectric power, that's from water, and next-generation geothermal energy. In the U.S., at the state and local level, support for renewable energy is often bipartisan, which means both parties agree, because it strengthens the economy. Taking action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate or lessen the effects of climate change is called climate action. In 1988, the International Panel on Climate Change was formed to assess the science of climate change and publish reports that inform global climate action. Then, in 2015, an international treaty called the Paris Agreement was signed by 196 parties from all over the world. Every year, countries that have joined the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change meet to measure progress and negotiate and collaborate on responses to climate change. Today, there are 198 parties to that convention, so a whole bunch of people are actually agreeing. Shared accountability is happening on a local level too. Houston and Austin are C40 cities, whose mayors have signed on to be a part of the Clean Air Accelerator. That means their governments agree to invest in green jobs, projects that improve resilience in their cities, and to adapt existing systems such as food, energy, buildings, water, transportation, air quality, and waste management to be more environmentally friendly. You can learn more about C40 and the UN's climate conference at the links in the description. You can research or attend meetings about the climate action initiatives being proposed in your city and write to your representatives to let them know what's important to you. You can use keywords from this video in your research like clean energy development, renewable energy, and reducing carbon emissions. Especially when there is no federal leadership on climate action, it's up to cities, states, businesses, and communities and people like you to lead the way. Your assignment for today is to find one piece of climate action policy happening in your city and see how you can support or hold the city accountable for climate action promises. Is it going as planned? Is it on schedule? And who's being left behind? You can read about Houston Climate Action Policy in the description. Put on your best Inspector Gadget, get your Scooby-Doo on, and I'll see you in the next video.